Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest and welcome to November 15, 2024. We have 2 minutes of normal trading left and then we have the closing auction. And that's not only for the day, but it's also for the week. And we have finished the week on a positive note, which is a little bit of a surprise because the Wall Street I thought would lead us down. NASDAQ was down 0.67%, Dow Jones down 0.5%. So maybe commodities had a good day. Let me just check. Oh, okay day. Res was up 0.28%, but we're green for some reason. Not sure why. There could be some explanations out there, maybe some economic news, although it is Friday, and usually you don't see any major economic news released on Friday, but I will take this. I definitely take this sort of action. Now, I have driven at 6 hours from my parents' place to home, and the first thing I did when I arrived home was, well, after I reconnected my computer, is I had a look at the announcements. Yes, I've already had a look at the announcements, and I have come up with the top 5 stocks of the day. Interestingly enough, and I am being a little bit biased here, the company that comes in at number 1 is my biggest holding. Now, I did receive a question or a comment from Sensei, who asked me about revealing my top 20 current holdings. And after I read these comments, I thought, let's have a look, because it's been 6 months since I did that exercise. So I did it last night, and lo and behold, actually Findi's coming in number 2. So second biggest position right now. And 6 months ago, it wasn't in my top 20. And the whole reason why it's gone from being or not being in my top 20 to number 2 is because the share price has gone absolutely bonkers. Well, not really bonkers. It's more than doubled, maybe tripled over the last 6 months. And now, because I have not taken any profits, it's now my second biggest holding. And lo and behold, the other day the company went into trading halt. It was because of an acquisition. The company revealed the acquisition in today's announcements, and it has been received quite positive by the market. So Findi is the top stock of the day. A few other interesting announcements released today, and we have seen share price of companies move up or down 20%, 2 positive and 2 negative, not including Findi. So Smart Parking, Healius, Peninsula Energy, and Aspen, sorry. Always get that confused. Aspen, which is something to do with buildings or construction. Anyway, so that's not the agenda for today's video. The agenda for today's video is I'll go through the ASX today, looking at the best and worst performing sectors, indices, and also companies, see what I might have missed, because I went through the announcements pretty quickly. And to be honest with you, we haven't seen many announcements released today, but there was enough that I had a choice. So there was a few companies that did not make it in my top 5 stocks. And I'm not that disappointed these companies did not make it, including an agricultural company that released their results. I think the share price might be a little bit down. That company is AAC, Australian Agricultural Company. Share price is flat. Yeah, the market just doesn't care. Market cap of the company is roughly 800 million. And after I've gone through the ASX today, we'll have a look at those top 5 stocks of the day, and then I might look at some of your comments. So we're in at the closing auction right now. That's why market index says ASX in match, closes in 9 minutes and 17 seconds. That's actually a rough estimate because there's no set time the closing auction is run. It's within a 30-second slot or range or whatever you want to call it, and around about 10 past the hour, that sort of area. Anyway, okay. Now, before we have a look at the ASX today, I probably should have a look at trading economics just to see. I have refreshed this, by the way, so don't have to do that. Just to see if I've missed anything here. Not really. Some negative stuff happening in China, looks like. China industrial output growth below expectations. Does that mean Hang Seng's down and Chinese markets down? China retail sales growth beats the forecast. Well, that's sort of positive. So negative and positive. Japan GDP growth slows as expected. Indonesia trade surplus. Nothing about Australia here. Oil set for weekly loss here. And dollar set for strong weekly gain. Just like having a look at the commodities here on the right-hand side. It looks like oil's down again. Copper's had an okay day. Silver's had an okay day. And gold down slightly. Okay, so let's turn our attention to the ASX today. just to see the best performing sectors and indices. I'm just having a look at how it has performed during the day. And it does look like the XAO and XAO actually did open down. So we have seen the markets or the indices rally through the day, which is understandable. In fact, so let's have a look at the XJO. So it closed yesterday at 8,224 and doesn't say what it opened at. But that was the low of today. So it doesn't look like it opened lower. Anyhow, let's have a look at the best performing sectors and utilities. Whoa. Pretty good day for utilities, financials, industrials, and telecommunications. Does that mean banks are even more expensive? That's just amazing. Again, the market can remain irrational for a long period of time. And I say that's what's happening to banks right now. It's irrationality. I think people are just buying the banks because they're the banks. They don't care about the valuation, and I think that will harm them in the long run. Healthcare down 1.71%. I'm not sure what's caused that. So let's have a look at healthcare. In fact, I'll have a look at healthcare and utilities. What has led to both of these companies or both of these sectors up and down pretty big? So let's start with healthcare. Now, Healius did release something negative today, which I'll touch upon in the top 5 stocks of the day, but has to be more than that because Healius isn't that big. So let's have a look. So CSL's down, ResMed down. So most of the bigger companies are down, and only Pro Medicus is up. So a little bit of negative sentiment in healthcare today. Not sure why, but you can just see it here. Most of the bigger companies or the bigger healthcare companies are down. And let's have a look at utilities. What has led the utilities to be up 2.9%? So is it Origin? I think Origin is the biggest company. Yeah. So Origin and APA groups had a pretty good day. AGL Energy, a pretty good day as well. And there's some actually negative ones here as well. But really, this has been led higher by Origin Energy and APA Group, I suppose, including AGL Energy. So nothing significant there, I think. Okay, now let's have a look at the indices. Gold's had a good day. Banks, tech, nothing surprising there. ASX 20 up 0.61%. We'll have a look at this. I would say 12 companies up 8. No, I'm going to throw 13 up, 7 down. Well, 17 up, 3 down. So it's been a pretty good day for the biggest companies on the ASX, and the only 3 companies down, CSL, we already knew that, and then Fortescue and Macquarie back. And the best performing companies in the ASX 20, WiseTech, has rebounded significantly since that bit of turmoil with the CEO and founder. In fact, I'm pretty sure the share price was at $100, so it's rebounded 34% since then. ANZ has had a good day. Westpac, not sure why. Not sure why people are buying the banks, but they are. And the charts for the banks still look pretty good. So maybe they're just trading them. Maybe people are just trading the banks. I don't know. It's weird for me. It's just really weird that the banks are this expensive. It has to end at some point, but that end could be another year from here, and the share price could keep on going up. Okay. Let's have a look at the best the top gainers and top losers on the ASX today, the best and worst performing companies. So let's have a look at the top gainers first, see if I've missed anything. I do expect a few companies, maybe 3 companies, 2 companies in my top 5 stocks of the day to be in this list, particularly by market cap. Okay, so let's have a look. Nothing of note, although Noviqtech up 100%. I did see the T code for this one. I did see the T code and I completely bypassed it. And I'm not sure why. Let's have a look at the title of the announcement. Share price up 185%. So there is some significance to this. And strategic placement to drive blockchain solutions. Okay, so I can see why maybe I might have bypassed that. Strategic placement doesn't really interest me at all, although we have seen this happen in the past. When a company does a strategic placement, and you do see the share price rise significantly because of who the strategic placement is to. So I just bypassed this one because it's not the sort of title that would trigger me to have a closer look. I do need a bit of a trigger. So I'm looking for trading updates, profit upgrades, downgrades, that sort of thing, financial results. Sometimes I will look at a strategic placement, but in this case, I don't know anything about this company. What's it called again? Noviqtech. But again, the share price is up, so the market likes this one. Let's have a quick look at this. Strategic placement to drive blockchain solutions. So $1 million, not a lot. Who's it with? Antonis Tony G. Renowned globally as an innovation leader and visionary investor, Tony G is a chairman and major shareholder of Solana Strategies. So this could be just because of who this guy is. Well-renowned, that sort of thing. And the market say, well, if this guy likes Noviqtech, then there must be something here. So I'm going to take a position in this company because of that. And the share price has responded responded because of that. So let's have a little chart for, what's the ticker code again? NVQ. NVQ, which is interesting because I had NDQ up, looking at the NASDAQ. Now I've got NVQ. Now, before this announcement, the share price or the market cap of the company was fairly low. It's right now it's at $9.8 million. So before this day, it was less than $5 million or around about $5 million. And the chart looks, before today, the chart looked, no, why would you take a position in this company at all? But today, maybe this is the breakout. This is important because I've seen this happen before when this sort of announcement happens and the share price pops up, say 200%, and then the share price goes on a significant rally because of a strategic placement. One of the best examples of this happened with Point Terra back in 2020. There was a strategic placement. I'm not sure if they called it strategic placement. In fact, let's have a look. Let's have a quick look at Point Terra. It's going to go back. In fact, I'm going to first have a look at the date it happened. It was 2020. So it looked like it happened on the 14th of July. Share price up 72.2%. Massive volume coming in. Not the best looking one-day candlestick, but that's okay. So I'm just going to go back and have a look. 14th of July 2020. How did they title that particular strategic placement with Bevan Slattery, that who is with? So you can easily do this via market index because they have all the announcements the company has released. So here it is. Yeah, in fact, they did call it placement to strategic investor. So I have noticed in the past this sort of thing can trigger a bit of excitement in the market. And then look what happened to Point Terra share price after that. It went on a really big rally. Does not mean this is going to happen to Novi, whatever it's called again. I just don't know anything about this company. But I think it does deserve a little bit of a closer look. So that's a pretty interesting announcement that I completely missed. And that is the whole reason I go through this process. I look at the top gainers, pretty big volume coming through as well, I assume. So Noviqtech, company I know nothing about. Other than that, most companies are up on fairly low volume, although Cyclone Metals isn't. It's up on pretty good volume, 52.63%. So let's have a look at Cyclone Metals. CLE, it's not, for some reason, it's not showing up here. Did I do that right? CLE. I'm just going to open it up in Market Index. Cyclone Metals. They must have released something, surely. They did. Memorandum of Understanding between Vale and Cyclone Energy for development of Iron Bear project. That's not the sort of announcement that I might have a closer look at, but as you can see in today's announcement, today's share price action for Cyclone, the share price has rallied pretty nicely on the back of this news. And so let's have a look at the chart for Cyclone Metals. And, we're going way back. And, there's nothing here. Well, I'm not sure what's happening with this company. This chart is nothing. If you have a look at the trade history, why is there nothing showing up? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong company. For some reason, there is nothing showing up in ComSec. There it is. So I have a feeling, no, it's been trading. So I'm just going to have a look at the chart in ComSec. It's just weird. This chart looks really, really weird. I am definitely missing something here. Oh, the share price was like 0.1 cent. Okay, the share price was 0.1 cent, and they must have done a consolidation recently. Let's have a look. Consolidation recently. Yeah, there it is. Completion of share consolidation. That's why the share price is not 1 cent anymore. It's now 3 cent after this share price rise. So pretty good timing there. They've done the share consolidation and then made this memorandum of understanding, released this memorandum of understanding with Vale. Okay, that's why this chart looks really weird. Okay, anything else here of note? Okay, we don't have to talk about smart parking because that is in my top 5 stocks of the day. And other than that, there's nothing much there. So let's have a look by market cap. And we have Adriatic Metals, which is silver up a fair bit. And there's Aspen. So Aspen up 7.2%. That's another company in my top 5 stocks, alongside Findi and Smart Parking. So 3 of the best performing companies on the ASX by market cap I will be talking about later in the video. St. Barbara is there. Now, St. Barbara did release something. I'm almost certain of it. What did they release today? Or is this just gold bouncing? Oh, they did a capital raising. Okay, so nothing of note. Maybe this is because gold's bouncing. And that's it. A few other silver companies here, other mining companies. Okay, so let's have a look at the worst performing companies, and I fully expect 2 companies, if not in the percentage change, in the market cap sector or in the market cap column. And lo and behold, the top loser of the day is Peninsula Energy. And that is one of the companies I'll be talking about in top 5 stocks, down 24%. So we can move on. Is the other one here? Yes, the other one is here. Healius down 16.7%. And in fact, both of those companies are down fairly big on pretty big volume. So I don't have to talk about those companies. Alltech Batteries, what's happened there? Capital raising? Maybe it's a capital raising. Yep, capital raising, so we can move on. Oh, Veem. This one is interesting. I didn't remember seeing Veem at all today. I might have missed this one. Or they had the AO trading update yesterday. That's why I completely missed this one, because I actually didn't have a look at announcements after the market closed yesterday. So completely missed Veem, and this probably deserves to be possibly in the top 5 stocks of the day. So obviously the trading update was a little bit negative. So let's have a look at this particular trading update from Veem. And funny enough, the chart was starting to look a little bit negative, I think, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that. So obviously, there's some sort of overview outlook here. So they could talk about current orders on hand amount to $2.3 million US dollars, which seems low. I don't know. Is that low? Seems low. That's for the gyro stabilizers, propulsions. Talk about outlook. Trading update. This is probably what I was looking for. So financial year 24 was an exceptional year for the company. While first half 25 is not expected to reach the same profit levels, it's not a good start. First half is still significantly higher than the first half financial year 23. So they're now comparing this year to 2 years ago because it just looks better. That's continuing the overall upward trend in performance. Well, not necessarily so. Maybe this year was not as good as financial year 22. Don't know. Anyway, expects to report revenues in the order of 36 million, with EBITDA in the range of 5.5 and profit between 2 to 2.3. The second half of financial year 25 is expected to be stronger than the first half, but that remains to be seen. And then they go through trading updates for products. Anyway, so share price is down for Veem. And again, this is why I go through this process. Completely missed this one. And I would say the share price or the chart's starting to look a little bit negative, yeah. So the chart was looking really good, and it showed signs of weakness over the past few months. And today was probably confirmation that the uptrend has definitely come to an end. So Veem looking a little bit weaker right now. Okay, what else do we have here? Healius, we can talk about that later on. Mesoblast, I think that's just going up and down like a yo-yo. Now let's have a look by market cap. Grain Corp did have their AGM, I believe, yesterday. So a little bit more further downside. I'm not sure why Arabana is down when other gold companies are up. or the gold sector is up. That's interesting. Same can be said, same is, oh, I've just tongue-tied. I've tied my tongue. Same can be said for Southern Cross Gold, down 6.7%. So I'm not sure what's happening with those two companies. I didn't expect many gold companies to be in this list. And, oh, Bhagwan Marine down. Interesting. Okay, let's turn our attention to the top 5 stocks of the day. And some interesting companies did not make it. So Noviqtech, whatever it's called, and Veem, 2 companies I completely missed. Now, that does not mean either of those companies would have made it in the top 5, although NVQ could have. That's a nice share price, up 180%. That's a pretty nice day. So let's start off with Aspen, not Appen, Aspen, up 7.6%. The reason I've included this company is they did release an earnings upgrade. Yes, they've actually titled it Upgrade to Financial Year 25 Earnings Guidance. I don't know much about this company at all. They had the AGM. And this is one of the reasons I really like AGM season, is because this is when we do get trading updates from companies. How are they performing since the end of the start of the financial year? And this is an upgrade. And that's as simple as it is. My favorite type of announcement. Other than that, I don't know anything about this company except they're into buildings, construction maybe. That's probably all I know, something to do with buildings. Anyway, so here's the most important thing. Upgrade to financial year 25 earnings guidance, underlying earnings per share, 16 cents, 5% increase on initial guidance and 16% increase on financial year 24. And they do go into the reasoning why, which I actually do like. The upgrade mainly reflects higher expected development profit of 2.5 million, more than offsetting reduced earnings due to disruptions to our corporate and student customers this half, which are probably one-offs. Interesting wording there, probably one-offs. And from selling Eureka Group shares with the proceeds initially applied to debt reduction. Okay, so by this, it seems like they build up developments and then they sell them to construction. Yeah, I'm just going to confirm that. I'm hoping they have an about section somewhere. So most companies do put an about section whenever they release an announcement. And it seems like Aspen does not do that, which is a little bit annoying, particularly if you want to learn about a company. Maybe Bell Potter Conference and something results here. Here we go, business and portfolio overview. They're talking about developer here, operator, developer, provider of quality rentals on competitive terms, dwellings and land sites. Okay, so they're a rental company. Do they build buildings and they rent them out? Is that what they do? Aspen's quality residential accommodation. I don't mind this sort of business model because I think we need more of this in Australia. I don't like individuals owning significant amount of properties. I prefer, and the reason I like that is because when I lived in America, this is who I rented from, and it's just so much easier. It's so much better. I rented from like corporations, institutions. It was just so much better. That's just my opinion. It's my opinion, but it seems like that's what they're doing, and I just don't mind this business model. That's just me again. Okay, let's have a little chart for Aspen. What was it? APZ. This chart doesn't look that bad. I did have a quick look at this when I saw this announcement. I just wanted to see what the chart was looking like. And in fact, the share price has moved into an uptrend, the uptrend in the middle of this year after share price went nowhere for a long time. And if you have a look at the weekly chart, the share price has been rising steadily since 2019, so 5 years. In fact, it's gone from $1 to $2.38. So not only that, the share price is at an all-time high or near an all-time high. So this is a nice looking chart for Aspen. Other than that, I don't know much about this company. So we sort of know what this company does. Market cap is only 464 million. Dividend yield 3.7%. Price earnings ratio 8.5. And I don't think many people would know that this company exists. I knew it existed, but I didn't know anything about it. Coming in number 4, we have Peninsula, and this is just another bad day for this company, down 25.3%. just nothing goes right for Peninsula Energy. In fact, when I first started having a look at uranium companies quite a few years ago, this is one of the companies that actually did pop up alongside Paladin, of course, Boss Energy, Deep Yellow, Bannerman, quite a few other companies popped up. This one popped up and I thought, this one is interesting because they have projects in Wyoming, but nothing has gone right for this company. So what has caused this 25% decrease in the share price today? Peninsula Energy lands project update. Now, that sort of announcement doesn't necessarily pique my interest, but today it did because it's Peninsula Energy. And my first thoughts were, this is going to be negative. And then I had a quick look at the share price. I went, oh, yep, it's negative. Okay, there was a couple of negative things in this that I could see on very quickly reading it. For instance, where is it? The final central processing plant capital cost is projected to be about 10 million US dollars higher than previous estimates. So I thought, well, that's pretty negative. I'm not sure it's 25% negative enough for me. Maybe the market is overreacting. And then they also said something else that was quite negative. Yeah, calendar year 2025 ramp-up production profile revised downward. So this is sort of like a production downgrade to 600,000 pounds. Previous range was between 700,000 to 900,000 pounds. So the costs are higher, production is lower. So you can see why the share price is down 25%. I could expect the shareholders are not very happy with management. In fact, I think the management should have been a little bit more conservative with their estimates of the capital cost and their production. And that way you don't really peeve off shareholders. Just be conservative. I would recommend that to every single management team. Be conservative with your estimates. Be conservative. Don't think of, I think we're going to do this. Go on the lower side because something bad might happen. If it doesn't happen, then you can upgrade guidance. Anyway, I think that's the whole reason why the share price is down for Peninsula. Two negative things: high costs, lower production. Share price down 25%. Let's have a look at the chart for Peninsula Energy. And this chart's going to look horrendous. Yes. So I probably first discovered this company maybe 2016-17. Share price in a downtrend at that point. Now, this is the weekly chart. So let's go back to the daily chart. And there's nothing to like at all about Peninsula. You compare this to, say, any of the other uranium companies' charts, it's just night and day difference. And the whole reason why it's night and day difference, so even though uranium price was rising over the past few years, Peninsula Energy share price has been dropping because they keep releasing really bad news, just time and time after again. So I would assume, without knowing any Peninsula Energy shareholders, they must be royally peeved off at this point in time, because not only have they released another negative announcement, the share price is at long-term lows, maybe all-time lows, or not quite. Share price did get down to about this level in late 2020 before uranium prices started to rise. Just to think that uranium prices have risen significantly over the past 4 years. Peninsula Energy has not. It's just gone sideways. So this is Peninsula Energy. And let's have a look at what's one? Boss Energy. Why not Boss Energy? Why not? And just compare these two charts. It's like night and day difference. So this is a really big red flag on the management of Peninsula Energy. So sorry, Peninsula Energy, but I'm sorry, Peninsula Energy shareholders. Particularly those who have held on for like 3 or 4 years expecting share price to rally because uranium prices are rallying. No, it doesn't always happen like this. And more bad news. I'm actually going to have a look at hot copper just to see how the shareholders are thinking and feeling. I reckon it's going to be quite negative. Okay, coming in number 3, we have Healius. This is an interesting one because I am trading Healius. Probably should get out of this trade now because of this particular day. Although I could imagine a bit of a bounce on Monday. And the whole reason I think there might be a bounce is because the share price didn't open down for the day. It actually did fall during the day. Maybe because it looks like the announcements were released after 10 a.m. That's probably the reason why. Now, I suppose a couple of negative things within this. See if we can find them again. If I can't find them, I'm pretty sure they're going to be in capital brief. I did see 2 negative things. Okay, so the first one I did see was, where was it? Now, this is the problem. I should have actually wrote it down somewhere exactly where it was. Maybe it wasn't in this one. Maybe it was in the CEO. Is it the CEO one? Oh, yeah. Yes, actually, might have been both in the CEO address. Okay, so the first negative thing I saw in this, yes, actually was this one. Okay, so they mentioned some positive things in regards to pathology test or something increasing. I'm trying to remember what they exactly said. Actually, I'll go back down a bit. Yeah, and in fact, this is the key paragraph here. I remember reading this paragraph. Unfortunately, the federal budget 2024-25 provided with one hand while taking away with the other. While the budget provided delayed indexation for only 1/3 of pathology items to the tune of 174 million, it introduced inefficiencies in the order of 356 million. We know that inefficiencies are political speak for cuts, and it did not take long to learn that the government is exploring cuts to both vitamin B12 and urine tests. This is alarming because these tests are commonly accessed across the population, but is more alarming when we consider that 66% of all people who undergo these tests are women. These cuts are not evidence-based and are in direct contrast to the government's commitment to women's health. So that's the first thing I could see that was negative. They did mention some positive stuff there. What I'm going to do is go to Capital Brief because I don't want to try to find it. And it's interesting in Capital Brief because I did have a look at this. All of this. Setai shares slide as chair acknowledges distractions. That's old, I think. Here we go. So Healius shares tank as government funding cuts could lead to laboratory closes. And the second reason why I think the share price has decreased, Healius shares extend losses as it receives remuneration strike. And in fact, the CEO did mention something here. About 55% of shareholders voted against the resolution after Healius's new chair, Kate McKenzie, flagged the board had received a lower than expected vote during her AGM remarks. So I wonder which one caused more negativity in the market today. I would say it's the first one. This one, the talking about the funding cuts. Yeah, I think it's that one. Oh, here's what the chief CEO said. Material increase in pathology earnings in the second half of 2025. So that does sound quite positive, but then that funding cuts to vitamin B12 and urine tests. And I think that's probably why the share price is down. I think their remuneration strike does not help either. Okay, so let's have a look at a chart for Healius. And this is an interesting one because it looked positive. The chart's started to look positive, and that positive sort of just drifted away. And I was actually thinking of selling this one and a little bit too late. And so this is a case of probably being patient because I was thinking of maybe I should just be patient. Being patient just didn't pay off in the end. So I took a position in August. Looked like the share price was trying to break out. On the release of their results, the share price did rally 12.9%. And you can see the share price trying to move into an uptrend. But over the last month and a bit, share price just started to drift downwards, which is a negative sign. Share price reached my sell point, got very close to my sell point, but yeah, I didn't have that sell trigger. Today we do have that sell trigger, but I just might wait to see if the share price bounce on Monday. If it doesn't, I will take a small loss with this position. Okay, so that's Healius. Coming in number 3, smart parking. This is one I've never held. Share price up 25%. I'll take that if I was a shareholder. Now, the AGM today, I had a quick look at the AGM presentation, and seems like it's really good. Everything's just moving in the right direction for smart parking. They also had a trading update. I think it was called a trading update. And again, things are just moving in the right direction for this company. And just taking ages for this what do you call it? I was going to say article to open up. This announcement to open up via ComSec. Again, ComSec is slow, or it can be very slow. So they did release or have an update here somewhere. Here we go, of Q1 financial year 25 business update. Had a look at the key metrics. Everything's moving in the right direction. Revenue up 24%, adjusted EBITDA up 30%, growth in parking of breach notices up 18%, which is weird because it seems like this company relies on parking breaches, which still is weird to me. Global sites ahead of plan, 1,500. So everything's moving in the right direction. So congratulations to shareholders. Here we go. They're talking about parking breach notices, which you think should be a negative, but it's a positive. Yeah, so if more people break the law, well, it's not really a law. Is it a law? Parking breaches, then it's better for this company. Anyway, so let's have a look at the chart for smart parking. And the chart looks pretty good. This is a really good looking chart. Yeah, there's no reason to even think about selling out of this right now. A nice looking chart for smart parking. In fact, it's been really nice. There was I'd say back in middle of 2022 wasn't as nice. Share price at that point was like below 20 cents, but the share price then moved into an uptrend, has continued to move up since then. So a nice chart for smart parking. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, now coming in at number one, we have Findi. Now, I might be a little bit biased, but the share price up 10%. I'm always going to take that particular share price rally on my second biggest holding. So they went to trading halt yesterday, and the trading halt yesterday mentioned, so it wasn't, a lot of times when a company goes into trading halt, usually your first thoughts are, oh, is this going to be a capital raising? I didn't really think about that when I saw Findi go into trading halt because they have no problems when it comes to cash. Well, they had no problems when it comes to cash before because they had plenty. Anyhow, so this trading halt in relation to a strategic acquisition by the company's subsidiary Transaction Solutions International, and then they made the market aware of that particular acquisition today. Findi accelerates Indian expansion with Tata acquisition. They also released a white label ATM strategy. For those who don't know anything about this company, they have a lot of ATMs in India. Findi, India. I'm not sure. Financial India. I don't know. Anyway, so that's how they have a lot of ATMs. So you might be saying that's not a good business model. Well, for India it is. Anyway, so this company is going to be going strength to strength to strength. So this particular acquisition, and I'm not necessarily the biggest fans of acquisitions. I'm going to put that out there. So I'm always wary of acquisitions, particularly if they're doing capital raisings, if they keep on doing capital raisings, but they're not doing capital raising. This is funded from their balance sheet. That's what they said, completely funded from their balance sheet. So this particular company, they're acquiring Tata Communications white label ATM business, Indicash, for 75.7 million Australian dollars. So revenue of nearly $30 million, EBITDA positive by about $5 to $7 million, and also profitable, funded by cash reserves and existing facilities. So no capital raisings. Also, Deepak Verma promoted to CEO and managing director. So for those who are interested in management, that's probably a relevant part of the announcement as well. Anyway, so the model likes this acquisition. And the most important thing here is no capital raising, maybe a little bit of debt, but no capital raising. I like that. So let's have a look at the chart. And you'll be able to see why this has become my second biggest position, because I have not taken profits in this for a long time. Now, another reason this is my second biggest position is I did exercise some options. So I had some options in this. I had to exercise those options in middle of January at 90 cents. I'm so glad I exercised those options at 90 cents. Share price currently $7.50. So since May, when I did my previous top 20 holdings, the share price of this company was about $3. So share price has increased. It's more than doubled. It's almost tripled since then. And the chart just looks pretty good. No complaints about the chart for Findi at all. Probably my only complaint, this is a very minor complaint, is if you have a look at the volume recently, over the past 3 or 4 months, it has subtly dropped from what we saw at the start of this year into the end of last year. That's my only slight negative thing, but it's not a big negative thing. Okay, so that's the top 5 stocks of the day. Findi, Smart Parking, Healius, Peninsula Energy, and Aspen. Okay, let's have a look at some of your comments. I have a little bit of time on my hands. Okay, let's start off with Rick Thellian, RHY. Is that Rhythm Biosciences? Actually, that's the first thing that came to mind. Rhythm Biosciences, yes. They have gone to trading halt today. And Rick Thellian says capital raising. As I mentioned before, whenever I see a trading halt, the first thing that comes to mind is capital raising. I'm wondering if that is the most common reason for a trading halt. I reckon it is. And yeah, the pros capital raising, and looks like they'll be releasing that on the 19th of November. If not, then the 18th. If not, they'll go into a suspension. Let's have a quick look at the chart for Rhythm Biosciences. Are they doing this capital raising because the share price has rallied, or do they just need the capital? Let's have a look. Well, if I just had a look at this chart, I would actually like this chart. The main reason I would like this chart is on the 7th of October, share price went up 44.7%. Then share price went sideways for about a month. And then we did see a little bit of a rally a few trading days ago, and the share price went up to 14 cents. It has pulled back a little bit to 11.5 cents. And now it's going to be really interesting to see what price this capital raising is being done. I'd say it's a fair bit of a discount, maybe 10 to, I'd say 20% discount. Wouldn't be surprised if it's been done at 10 cents, maybe 9.8 cents. So it does. I don't expect the share price to fall all that much. So I would say this is an okay capital raising because the share price has rallied a fair bit over the last few months. So it wasn't that long ago the share price was 4 cents. Now it's above 10 cents. So this is exactly what management should do. When they see the share price rallying, but not all management, I'm referring to companies who are not yet profitable, who need more money. And when they see the share price rally, that they should take advantage of that. Less dilution is just better capital allocation decisions. And looks like Rhythm Biosciences are doing that. So thank you, Rick Thellian. I would have completely missed, well, yeah, I would have missed it, but I don't really follow Rhythm Biosciences all that closely. But that chart does look interesting. Just James Dean says QBE has broken out. Let's have a look at QBE breaking out. Yes, I would. Yeah, it looks like a sort of share price rallied on the 7th of November. I wonder if that's have to do with the AGM. So let's have a look. QBE. Did they have the AGM recently? No. In fact, they did some sort of. They had nothing recently. So it looks like the share price just rallying because it could be a few reasons. If I had to say when the breakout was, I'll just put a line right there. And it's broken out over the last few trade days. So Just James Dean is absolutely right. Share price of QBE has broken out. And in fact, the share price of QBE is at a multi-year high. The last time share price was this high was way back in 2011. We're talking about a 13-year high for QBE. In fact, if you look at this weekly chart, this is a beautiful chart. Downtrend, 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 moved into an uptrend. It looked promising back in 2019. Then COVID-19 hit, and then it moved into an uptrend in 2022 at $11. So you could have bought this at $11. It's actually a nice looking chart for QBE insurance. I like it, but I'm not a shareholder of it. Sensei says, have you ever done the Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale? No. Or perhaps the Stanford Binet Intelligence Scale? No. And know your score. Have you ever done the Wonderlic tests and you know your score out of 40? No. I actually do fairly well on these sort of tests, though. I've done the SATs. Is it called the SATs in America? SATs, and I got 1,520 for the SATs. SATs. What's it called? SATs. SAT score. Well, this was back in 1998. I'm going to see what that score is like. So new SAT versus old SAT, because they've changed the way. So it's out of 1600. So 15, 20 in the top 1%. There you go. In the top 1%. I do know that was a pretty good score. And the SATs are standardized tests. You don't really study much for them, put it that way. Sort of like you don't really study for IQ tests. Also did the GRE, I think it's called the GRE, graduate tests. GRE, yeah, GRE, graduate record examinations. I can't remember my score on that one, but it was really good that I did get what's it called? I did get letters from universities asking if I would like to go there. So I did get scouted. That's the word. I did get scouted. So I actually do really well in those sort of examinations. I'm not sure it's because I don't get stressed. I don't know. But I don't think it's, and I do pretty well in IQ tests as well. I don't know if that's a good way to test the intelligence of people, because some people just don't handle those sort of situations well. But in saying that, I've done none of that. I'm not sure if I've done, maybe I've done a Wonderlic test, but I've done none of those. Maybe I'll do one of those soon. Ark says, thank you. I'm thinking of ShareSite for tax returns. Any recommendations? Thank you. I actually do ShareSite as well. I do ShareSite, but I really like that Superhero does a lot of the legwork for me as well. I was very surprised that Superhero did a lot of stuff that other platforms don't do, and it really lowered my workload, but ShareSite would do the same thing. Yes. I'm not keeping up to date with ShareSite. That's the reason why I'm saying Superhero did some good stuff for me, because unfortunately I've just been ignoring ShareSite. AHC 2024 AU says, what do you think about Gentrack? Well, funny enough, I have been holding Gentrack for about 4 years. And let me talk about Gentrack. Okay. So Gentrack, this is without doubt my longest trade right now. It is also, in terms of my top holdings, it comes in at number 5. It's my 5th biggest holding, and all I'm doing is trading it. This is the weekly chart, and there's me buying it back in late 2020. So we're talking about 4 years ago. Share price $1.41. I thought the bottom had been reached. I was a little bit early, so I bought in late 2020. And the breakout happened in late 2022. So for 2 years, the share price did nothing. This was a great example of me being patient, which doesn't usually happen. And I was patient with this one. And then it broke out. I took profits along the way a couple of times because my holding was getting just a little bit too large for my liking. But my last profit taking was quite a while ago. And after that, I went, no more profit taking. I'm just going to hold this as long as possible until the trend changes. Because if you have a look at the daily chart, it's been absolutely beautiful, brilliant since that breakout. There it is, the breakout way back in late 2020. There's no sign of the end in the uptrend until maybe now. So the first sign of any, I wouldn't say significant weakness, but the first sign of a little bit of weakness has just occurred. Can't say the share price is in an uptrend anymore. Now, when they released results back in May, the reaction from the market was quite good. Share price rallied 20%, but we haven't seen the share price rise much from there. So I'm thinking maybe the top has been reached, or maybe from now on the share price won't rally as much. So I have been thinking about taking profits completely with this company because I've had it for 4 years, and this is sort of the sort of trade I'm always looking for, a long-term trade that provides a lot of return. Yeah. Other than that, I'll be honest with you. So I've had this for 4 years. I have not had a look at the company's financials or anything since then. All I've done is just have a look at the chart and go, oh, this is starting to look good. So this is a pure trade. I'm not sure what the company is doing. Not even sure what the valuation of the company is. According to TradingView, the PE ratio is 153, and the market cap is close to $1 billion. But the company keeps on improving their financials, and maybe this sort of valuation is justified. And the way I deal with that is just have a look at the chart. Anyway, so that's the chart for me. It's okay right now. I don't have a sell signal. I haven't really. It has got close to my sell signal recently. So when the share price hit its lows, late October, early November, share price got to a low of $8.75. My sell is at $8.50. Other than that, I can't tell you much about the company. Thank you, AU75. Oh, and that's it. That's all the, for some reason, that's all the comments. I thought there was going to be more. Okay, so if you do have any questions, any thoughts, leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who's qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.